Not beyond sake!
Coming! Hey!
Why can't the way forward in science ever be easy? Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting to see anyone this far from Thirdborn. Are you... Your face! Those markings! They're incredible! I had a terrible time trying to find a guide in Thirdborn who'd take me here. But meeting you makes it all worth it. You're right. I'm sorry. You have to admit, though, you are a prime specimen. I'm a mycologist, you see, and I'm working on a compendium of the different types of fungus in the living lands. Sure enough, what happens as soon as I show up? A fungus-based illness. There's a riot of data out here. If we don't learn from it, they'll have died in vain. Actually, since you're here, I'm having some trouble with the sporlings. I've devoted my whole life to my fungal friends. But I'm finding that the ambulatory ones aren't quite as, friendly. In fact, they're quite murderous. I'd normally be against harming them, but please kill the sporlings before they kill me. Thank you. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Maybe literally. Good luck. Oh, I've got to write these measurements down before I forget.
Get off me!
Roll 10!
Nice!
I saw everything. You taught that sporling a lesson it won't soon forget. Or, well, it's not alive to remember, but you know what I mean. Wait, that means it's safe to go back to my experiments. I'll have to collect everything and... I am suddenly very busy. Pardon me.
That should suit her fine. Until the next sporling comes along.
Nothing better than a breakthrough. On your left, dear!
Oh, no, you don't!
Sam, that's me too!
Next one's mine! Watch the left!
Not beyond sake!
Check your right!
Roll 10! be unsafe!
Nothing like a win with a good team. That's Thomas' badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. It sure is. Reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. Oh, he was an incredible bastard. Led the defense of Thirdborn, which meant he also led most of our patrols. He'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were going to collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He was the best of either. I don't know. This won't bring him back. This won't change anything. Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. No. He hung on. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. I'm sure of it. Not much got by him. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing? No glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Count yourself lucky. I take a keel hauling any day. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. To an old trencher like him, a badge means honor, fellowship. I just couldn't imagine him without it. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. I never thought I'd tell this story again. But There's something about the way you've led us, the clarity you've kept. Something about you that inspires confidence. Kind of like well... Thanks. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. What can I say? Guess I never liked graveyards, but there's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Thomas. It's time I said goodbye. You know, I always thought it was supposed to be the other way around. Still, I hope you're right. Let's go. I must have done 100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much Thirdborn blood under them.
I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her? She even offered to make me her apprentice. You have to know the rules before you break them, Envoy. And I plan to break the rules thoroughly. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the Godless? I've spent my whole life with them. Oh, you even learned their proper name. I can't believe you listened. You'll make me cry at this rate. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy, what would you do? Oh, darling, don't you know that I'll do what I want no matter what anyone thinks? I just wish to ask a friend her opinion. Now, come on, answer the question. What would you do? The people of Fjord are stronger than they seem. But you're right. They feel unsafe in their own homes now. Quilici and I could return home and continue our lives, with little improvements here and there. Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me. If you were in the Navy, does that mean you sang on ships?
Always. Helps pass the time, gives your work a rhythm. Why?
I heard you singing under your breath in the last fight. Then you were stabbing on beat.
I didn't even realize. How'd you notice?
It's the curse and blessing of having very large ears, dearie.
Well, guess the Navy left me with something useful after all.
I am going to need you to teach me that song, though. I wonder if it'd improve my spellcasting.
As if you'd need my help for that.
Flattery will get you everywhere, dearie.
Whew, the heat is brutal. How do people live like this? Go on then, distract me. Oh, she was incredible. A self-employed researcher working to further her own interests, answering to no one. Not that I'm overlooking her arrogance or her disdain for the lives of others. What inspires me is her persistence. More importantly, she confirmed my suspicion. The living land sits atop a closed system of Adra. If nothing else, it's good to find someone who believes in your work. On this scale, very unusual. I've been thinking, a closed system might explain a few things. Imagine souls passing through Adra. They die here and they're reborn here, over and over. After so many lifetimes, the Adra grows dense, full of life and wisdom, fear and pain, with nowhere to go. Indeed, crawling with rats. Such an environment would be rich with essence, messy, but full of potential for something or someone to grow. That's enough metaphors for one day. Anyway, it's just a theory. Don't quote me on it. Until next time.
Look at those stars. They always seem brighter out here. I'll be here if you need me.
If you were asked where I was last evening, what would you say?
Depends who's asking.
No one? Maybe Hajime, but probably no one.
Yesterday evening. You were busy with your fur maintenance routine. It's an elaborate process.
Wow, really? No follow-up questions?
I figure you got your reasons. And I could use a favor next time someone gets mad at me for snooping.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
Watch your step. This land has bled finer warriors than us.
Seal that's me too!
Arms up! Here we go! Look left! Left leg! Oh, it burns! I think I sprained my shoulder.
Still remember the first time I saw these dunes. In the heat haze, they looked just like waves.
Seal that's me too! Roll 10!
Good one! Here we go!
Roll 10!
I was just getting warmed up.
Seal that's me too!
Here they come.
In the dark!
You're mine now!
Roll 10!
Memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. It doesn't, but I appreciate the effort. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Don't be. I don't know where to begin either. There's something I didn't tell you about Thomas' death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. As soon as I was out of there, I just walked. And I kept walking. Not since returning with you. Couldn't imagine anyone would be too happy to see me after everything. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. At least I'm in good company. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada and Yardsley, it's felt easy. Too easy. Okay, not that part. But I've come to trust your way of handling those threats when we face them. You're clear-headed. You have your priorities in line. I find myself ready to follow you, and that worries me. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Oh, come on. You sniffed out the plot to raise Fjord and you stopped it. But me? I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Oh, I know I'm not. The world is full of every kind of selfish, greedy, cowardly bastard you can imagine. Doesn't make it any better to be one of them. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. Except he's gone. There's no making it right. I gotta own that. What? No, I didn't. He died pulling my ass out of the fire, and I still let him face it alone. How can I remember him without remembering that? He was all those things. I never forgot it. I guess I stopped thinking of him as anything other than a dying man I left behind. I never realized I'd let my failure changed the way I remembered him. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. Tama always talked about the places he hoped to see. The islands of Deadfire, the tundras of Nasitok, the ancient cities of Old Valia. Maybe I ought to see some of those places for us both. As a traveler, not a soldier. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to.
10!
Watch yourselves. Is that all you got?
Quarry in the ground! Seal нас metu! 10!
This one's mine. Nice job.
10!
Well, that was fun.
Listen, thank you for visiting Tama's memorial with me. I didn't think I'd ever trust someone the way I trusted him, but both of you have a clarity of purpose I've never seen in anyone else. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like I just woke up with a hangover. Every feeling, every memory I tried to keep a lid on is sloshing around, and I'm struggling to keep my balance. But I'm also remembering moments I hadn't let myself think on in a long time. Feeling a warmth I couldn't get close to. Yeah. After I ride out the worst of it.
We think of grief as a burden, as something to be conquered. After a while, it gets to be so familiar, it's almost a source of comfort.
I wish this were another burden to conquer. That would feel easier. It's hard to imagine grief ever being a comfort, but I'll have to take your word for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I'll get there. And thank you for seeing this through with me. Was there something else? Night, Envoy.